just sitting there, and I'm going down to this block, and a couple of people coming through. Yo, where you going? I'm going to go cop something. Yeah, we'll try this. Go ahead about your business, but just check this out. And if you like it, we down the block. Yo, what's this? A 20? And that's a dime. A dime? God damn. So they figured this shit can't be no good. It's this big. So they, all right, I'll try. They try, come back like, yo, those, you got those dimes? You got those dimes? Because they know they could get my dime, they could smoke, get high, because it's like that, and still go and sell my dime for $10 that they done smoked half of. Go sell my dime for $10 and kill it. So before you know it, I had these entrepreneurial, crackheads who was coming by 5 and 6, 10. If you bought 10, I'll give you one. Because you're going to be able to take my joints and break them shits down and double your motherfucking money. So you can get high and make money. And we went from doing 10 bottles a day to doing, went from 10 to we did 40 bottles a day. Well, 400. The next day, then we did 100 bottles a day. And 2 days later, it's like, yo, we just went through 200 bottles. So I'm running back and forth, copping, because I'm probably getting maybe an eighth, 125 grams. So I'm going back and forth, got a cop. I think I was copping from a cat on 109th Street. His name begins with an M. I'm glad I wrote all this shit down in Raised by Wolves, because I barely recall. You talking about this is 40 years ago. You know what I mean? It'd be 2026. This was 40 fucking years ago. His name began with an M, Dominican dude. He was on 109th between 5th and Madison. And I would go down there, go see him, go cop, go back over to 157th Street, home, cook up, bottle up, cook up, chop up, bottle up, and seal. I used to put my shits in the seal, for that extra sense of security. You ain't got to worry about it. If a motherfucker go cop some work for you and bring it back from my shit and it ain't in that seal, then they fucked with it. If it ain't full from the bottom to the cap, then they fucked with it. I was very, very much into product quality, right? Yeah, yes, that's right. I should have been in fucking corporate America. That's what the fuck I should have been. But who was going to give me that? Who was going to put me in contact with that? Who was going to let me know that, yeah, you can do what you're doing in corporate America. This is manufacturing. This is setting up distribution. This is setting up retail. This is, production. This is what you're doing. You're running a fucking, what they call a vertical business. Only thing you're not doing is growing the motherfucking leaves and doing the process to turn it into the coca, to the paste, and, importing it. That's the only thing you're not doing. Everything else you're doing. So I'm going back and forth. And of course, I go cop 125, then come back 72 hours later, come back and get another 2125, come back 72 hours later, and, get a 250. This nigga's like, hey, why don't you take one?
Yeah, you coming in and out. It's too much
traffic. Take one. Take one traffic. You come back too fast. Take one. So I take a joint. Naturally, what did I learn from the situation with Roger and previously? What I learn?
Don't hand out a bunch of work.
And pay your motherfucking bill before you do anything else. Now, I had been taught that. My mother taught me that. But of course, when you're young and you're smart, you think you know shit you don't know. You certainly think you know better. Oh, I know better. In fact, this is what it does. This is what knowing does to a nigga. Knowing makes you think that because you know, you can circumvent the realities. That's what it makes you think. We just hit the hour mark 4 minutes ago. You can circumvent. So it's like, because I know better, I can do things that I'll tell somebody else, don't do that. Hey man, how much you owe? 20,000? All right, well, the first 20,000 that touches your hand, you give that to your connect. That way, if anything happens after that, if don't nobody pay you after that, at least you know you can get more work. That's what I learned from the previous situation. So as soon as, or that's the lesson I had reinforced. So as soon as I got the bread, I think at that time a joint was 20, which is crazy because this is only 6 years later. 1980, a joint was 60. 4 years later, it was 20.
Crazy.
When I first started, it was 60, and then it went to fucking 20. That just goes to show you it was a whole hell of a lot more coming in by 86, you know? So we start hitting, say, the 10,000 mark a day, 10,000 a day in like 90 days, 120 days tops. 4 months, we're doing 10,000 a day. For a while, we were doing 8,000 a day, 8,000 a day, 8,000 a day. And, you know, there's a school, 90, I think, between McClellan, that's it. So McClellan and 166. So that's where that Dominicans have the spot on Sheridan between McClellan and 166. And there was a school, middle school, between Sheridan and Sherman from 166 to McClellan. And when the crack shit, like the whole, it's cracked and crack and this new drug called crack, whatever, when that shit first started, one of the first things they did was make a law that said if you're selling drugs within 1,000 feet of a school, it's a mandatory minimum. No matter what, if you get caught selling drugs within 1,000 feet of the school, you're going to do jail time, right? So what I did was I made a executive decision to not operate during school hours. So we didn't open up until 4 in the afternoon. And from 4 in the afternoon till 4 in the morning, we rock it. And crack is a drug you could do like that. You can't do heroin like that. If you open up at 4 in the afternoon with heroin, you've missed the majority of the motherfucking dope money, because dope fiends don't hang out all night and run around all fucking night long. That's not what dope fiends do. Back then, dope fiends got up and went to work every fucking day. So you got to be out there when they get ready to go to work. Like, you got to be out there to get them right so they can go to fucking work and operate. Remember, knees hurt, elbows hurt, neck hurt, back hurt, nose running, ass running. They can't operate until they get high, right? And so we rocking from 4 in the afternoon to 4 in the morning. And we're doing like 800, 800 bottles a day, a shift. Then we get to the point where we were doing 100 bottles an hour. That's what it was. Doing 100 bottles, and we got to the point we're doing 100 bottles an hour. Which, in the scheme of things, you still got all these other crack spots going on all around us. But we got top-notch product, and you know it's big, so you can make money doing it, not just get high, but make money. So we're drawing motherfuckers that are not just people who smoke. We're drawing motherfuckers who hustle and don't smoke at all, who just hustle. And so we're doing $1,000 an hour. We operate for 12 hours, we're $1,000 an hour. And by the, summer of 86, I'm sitting on, I don't know, 100,000. Because my spending habits, I mean, by summer 86, I got a Lincoln Town Car limousine, like a full length stretch limousine. That's $2,000 a month. And I got a driver, my man Big V, Peaceful Journey Big V. If y'all know Vernon, that was my motherfucker. Him and his brother Vaughn, that was my monsters. These niggas military. and martial arts trained, 6'3", 230, 240 pounds, monsters. And my fucking attack dogs, nigga. And everybody Vernon and Vaughn, a Big V and Vaughn, everybody, Trooper. He was called Vaughn Trooper. Shout out to Trooper. So I'm paying Vernon rather, Big V, I'm paying him $400 a day to drive it. $400 a day to drive it. $2,000 a month, is my I leased it. That's my lease. I don't want no personal car because everybody named Mother was being identified by their cars. Yo, so and so such, so such with the black this and the blue that and the red this with the piping and this, and I didn't like that. I didn't like all that visibility. I want you to know what I want you to know. I want to be in control of the information being distributed and disseminated about me, because that's what I was taught. Control your motherfucking narrative. So I don't want no car. I move around this limousine. Motherfuckers don't even see me. They don't even know it's me. They might see it parked in front of my mother's building, because I would have Vernon take it and move around with it. He was doing car service. He was doing touch class. So I have him do your touch class thing, whatever. When I need you, I'll call you. So sometimes I'll just have him sit out in front of the building while I'm upstairs counting money or doing what I'm doing. So I'm spending money like a motherfucker. So for me to have just $100,000 and I'm going through 3 keys every 5 days, some shit like that, all on breakdown, no weight to nobody. I was spending a tremendous amount of money, like that's $400 a day with him just doing, driving. And, I'm going out and I'll go shopping, because I ain't got shit to do. Like, operation is running. I ain't got nothing to do but kind of hang out, kick it, bullshit, go shopping. So I'm spending, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 a motherfucking day. You know what I mean? Or every few days, go shopping, hanging out, restaurants, every kind of high-end restaurant in motherfucking New York that you could think of. Russian restaurants, French restaurants, Italian restaurants. I eat in every Italian restaurant in New York City. Every one of them. They all knew me by fucking name. I had gold-plated knife and fork. You know that. I used to take all those kids.
Hey, buy that! The chef come out and the owner come out. Y'all been knowing your dad for all these years. And, anything y'all want, you can have. Come back with your friends. You're good.
So, I was living a life. And if I had me as a mentor, I wouldn't have been doing that. I would have been going to school instead of fucking off, waiting for money to come so I could fuck it off. I would have been going to school. I said, nigga, you got free time. Go to school. Go to school. Learn some business. Learn some things. Learn what to do with this money. Learn how to create a situation where you can get out of this situation that you're in. But I don't know I'm in this situation because I'm right where the fuck I want to be, where I've always aspired to be. Like everybody whom raised me, I'm becoming them. So I don't realize that my head is on a chopping block. My head is on a chopping block. I don't realize it. When I finally meet the Connect, because I almost had to get busy on my other Connect, because he gave me a couple of packages that was not right. They was trying different shit. They were trying like synthetics and all kind of shit, not saying nothing. And I had to bring back a couple of joints a couple of times. And I told him, I said, if I got to bring back another joint, you're going to have a problem. And you can read about that in Raised by Wolves, how that worked out. But then I don't want to give this part up. Motherfuckers read about this. But I meet this Dominican dude, major nigga named Maximo Reyes. Maximo Reyes, Dominican dude. But he's not like no low-end Dominican dude. This is a guy who's been rich all his life. He comes from a narco family. He's been rich all his life. So he's got, you know, he's classy, super classy. He's the one that gave me my first Coogis in '86. He's one of the first people to bring Coogis to America from Australia. He had a store up in above Washington Heights, off of Broadway, and big store. Big store had all type of fly shit, like downtown fly shit. And Maximo put me on. He gave me that La Reina and told me, he said, this is going to change it's going to change your business. It's going to increase your business. I was like, Coke smoke, it's all the same. Coke is Coke. I had never had bad Coke, so I didn't realize what really good Coke was. That motherfucker gave me that La Reina. He said, it's going to change your life. That's what he told me. I was like, all right, whatever. I had met her through an Italian girl who was dating, my best friend, my best childhood friend, Puerto Rican kid named Thunder Rock, Nelson Martinez, Peaceful Journey, Nelson Martinez. And he ran up on V one day, sitting out in front of the building, in front of your grandmother's building, sitting there in the limousine waiting for me. And he runs up and goes, he bang on the hood. He's a wild motherfucker. He's smoking dust, sniffing dope. He got locked up for bank robbery when we were like 15 years old. And jail fucked him up. The hood was bad enough, but jail really fucked him up. So he banging, yo, where's my brother? And, Verner's like, yo, what? Yo, stop beating on the car. What the fuck you talking about? Yo, my brother. This Cavario shit. Where my brother at? He's like, who are you? He's like, I'm his brother Nelson. Call him, man. Tell him Thunder Rock. You got a phone in there? Call him. Tell him Thunder Rock is there. So he's like, yo, man, I don't know who because V is not going to be like, oh, yeah, sure. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm on a call. I was sure. Man, come on. And he grabs the antenna and breaks the antenna. So V gets the fuck out. Nelson's a little short motherfucker. V gets the fuck out, stares like, hey, yo, man, what the fuck? So he called, he said, yo, Bob. Yo, you know some motherfucker named Nelson Martinez? What's your Nelson Martinez? I said, yeah, why? He said, yo, man, I hadn't seen him in years. He said, yo, man, you motherfucker down here, he just broke the fucking antenna off the car. I said, yo, what the fuck? So I go downstairs, and the niggas down there with this girl, and they both fucked up. They toe up, fucked up on that dust, whatever. But she is an Italian girl from my family, and so when he introduces us and tells her about, our childhood and how we was, these young breakdancing kids back in the, 76, we was breakdancing and we used them dudes in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And breakdancing, MCing, I had 2 technique turns, I had the whole shit. At 11 years old, my mom brought me the, Gemini speaker, big Kenwood, amp, and 2 techniques, and all that. I had like a full fucking adult DJ whole system, And so we used to rock. And so she saw that we were close and all of that. And she came back around about 5-6 days later by herself. And she told me, she's like, yo, I'm pregnant. I was like, oh, wow, that's not good. You're fucked up on dust and dope. So she's like, look, if I can get you some work, will you help us get an apartment? Like give us money to keep the apartment, whatever. I was like, yeah, that's my brother, whatever. But I'm not paying that shit no attention. Like, she's filthy. I'm like, yeah, sure, I got you. And blew it off. I forgot all about it. Like 2 days later, bro, I get a knock on the door. I'm at your grandmother's house. Get a knock on the door. She said, I'll be back in a couple of days. Oh, okay. I forget about it. Get a knock on the door. I go to the door, look through the peephole. It's a Dominican motherfucker standing there. Jerry curls, of course. Big thick ass mustache. And he got on this silk suit. silk, like, casual silk suit. And I'm like, and I see her. And I'm like, what? For real? So open the door, what's up? She says, so this Cavario, this is Maximo, this Cavario. Okay, you guys got it. And walks away. I'm like, so I look at him, I look at the gold on this nigga neck, and like King Tut. Like this is 86. He's rocking a Cuban that is like this thick. Niggas ain't know nothing about no fucking Cubans in 86, let alone one this fucking thick. I'm talking about like that thick and that high, this kind of width, that kind of depth, like crazy. Green gold, like rich. So I say, come in, take him in, take him into your grandmother's living room, no man's land, right? Take him to the living room and shit.
I already know where y'all went.
So you sit, he sits down on the couch, whatever, and I sit Indian style on the carpet. And he's like, so she told me you do good business, and how your business going? I said, I'm doing good. I do about, at this point I'm probably doing about 15,000 a day. I said, yeah, I'm doing good or whatever. He said, what kind of, how much you move? I said, I do about 3 keys a week. He go, oh, it's not bad, not bad. He said, I got the product that I got is very good. It's the best. I said, okay. He goes, so it's called La Reina. He said, this is going to change your business. I said, sure. I'm still thinking like, I'm doing them a favor, whatever. So whatever you give me, I'll just incorporate into what I got going on, whatever. Take my little whatever at the top and, get them what they need so they can get their apartment and all that, whatever. And, and as long as he's giving me work, I'll keep giving them money. So he tells me that this thing is going to be all that, whatever's going to change my business and that, whatever. I ask him how much, what you want, whatever. And he goes, no, you got it. I'll give it to you. I said, okay, cool. So the next day, I think he brings through like somebody I meet with a dude. The dude was a Dominican dude. He didn't really speak any English, but he used to be like a high-ranking cop in Dominican Republic. He was a killer. So I think he bring me like a half a man, like a half a key, or maybe a whole one. And he go, I go, I bust it open. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Fish scale, layered, tight, beautiful, glistening, gorgeous. I can see it in my mind right now. Gorgeous, gorgeous shit. So I go to cook it. I probably put on 125 grams to cook. I probably put like 62 and a half would be half. A little more. That's that's 2 ounces and 7 grams or so, whatever, two and a quarter ounces. I think I put like 56 grams on 125, 56 grams of baking soda on 125 grams. I cook it. Snaps back like that, right? It was common to lose if you cook a whole joint, you cook 1,002 grams, right? If you know what you're doing, you'll get back easy 990, and that was good because the premium on crack was much higher than on coke, powder coke. That 125 came back like 1 150, 155. I was like, what the fuck kind of voodoo is this? And it was hard. It held the baking soda. It was hard. It wasn't brittly or soft. Hard. It looked like porcelain when it dried. Like porcelain. Like white. Not yellowish, not off white, like porcelain. And super hard. Like when you go to break it, because I would cook like one, I had the Corningware, the big Corningware pot. So it'd be one big piece, one big cookie. Go to break that shit, it's like a dinner plate. Imagine snapping a dinner plate in half. Like, what the fuck? So I said, oh shit, you get busy. I gotta see what, chop, 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 chop. Take some over to the spot. Tell the motherfucker, yo, try this out. At the time, I think I was dealing with a guy who was he was a super of the building. His name was Melvin. I end up really tearing Melvin apart. Melvin and Mervin, something like that. I was tearing his ass up, but we were good for a minute. He's smoking. Older dude, he was smoking, and he lost control of himself. Ended up having to get disciplined really badly, but I let him try it, whatever. He's like, yo. And then he came back, how the cartoons, when a cartoon wolf sees the pretty girl, and his eyes would go boom, out his head like that, like Roger Rabbit. And then came out there, he said, yo, this is it. And the eyes was out here like this. I was like, holy shit, sweating. I said, what? Get the fuck out of here. Like, I didn't know that it made a difference. You got good coke, you cook it good. That's it. I didn't know that these different products had different processes that produced a different quality material. Buddy, let me tell you. This motherfucking shit. When I tell you, I was like doing 15,000 a day about that time, right? Within 10 days, we were doing at least 25, 26 between like the 1st and the 14th. We were doing like, we might go through, 100,000, 150,000, some dumb shit like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. I'm cooking 3, 4 keys a week, like cooking this shit. And I still ain't got the sense yet to be using a mask, like the respirator mask. Nigga. I was so fucked up off that shit. Bro. Sometimes I just can't believe the shit that I've been through. For real. It's like, bro, like, I must have had a horseshoe up my fucking ass, bro. Like, for real, bro. Like, I gotta be one of the luckiest motherfuckers ever. I don't even believe in luck. My fortune was very great. I was going through that shit so much, bro. I got so fucking paranoid, my nigga. I was like, there's no way in the world I'm making all this motherfucking money and they don't see me. No way in the world I'm making all this money and these motherfuckers can't see me. I'm paranoid like a motherfucker, nigga. I am so fucking paranoid. But I will not stop. I will not fucking stop. And this is where I learned. If you forget where you've been, you will find yourself there again. That's one of my 50 critical quotes. If you don't have the book, go to my site and get it. TheMindPlugAcademy.com. Bruh, I figured I got fucked up last year because I only had, 50, 60,000, whatever. But now I got 200. No way I could fall off now. No way. I mean, at this point in my life, I stopped sniffing coke in 84 or 85. I stopped sniffing when I was like